lighting here. Okay. So we're going back to the playground, going back to recess. The teacher just let us out of a boring class. We're running out onto the playground. Let's sit nice and tall and envision the blue sky, the sunshine, the fresh air, And since we're adults, let's make intention. What is our intention for this hour-long recess? What is our intention, our sweet little goal? And from your tall posture, hands are on the lap. Let's begin to breathe in that fresh air, filling up the lungs. Exhaling it all out, making room to breathe in another full lung experience. And let's take about 5 or 6 more deep breaths, breathing in the fresh air, breathing out completely. Making room for another full experience, filling up the lungs. Are we smelling freshly cut grass? The apple blossoms, the lilacs. Northern Michigan has the most amazing lilac bushes. Oh my gosh, they're so big and so fragrant. We just finished. The blooms are just now starting to fade away. 2 more big breaths. Let's add head movement to the breath. Inhaling to lift the chin. Exhaling to lower chin all the way down to the chest, feeling that like you're going to have a double chin, squeezing that double chin. Inhale, lift the chin. Exhale, lower the chin. Maintain a nice tall posture. This back is nice and long and tall. 2 more. Up and downs with the chin. The last couple, stretch that chin up. Feel a nice stretch on the front of the neck and a nice squeeze when the chin is low. Squeezing, giving space and compression, alternating space and compression to our thyroid, parathyroid, voice box. With the head on straight, let's lower one ear towards one shoulder. And without really moving that opposite shoulder, just invite settling down. So there's just an extra little gentle stretch on that side of the neck. Head up to center, lowering other ear to other shoulder. And there's a settling down, a conscious settling down of the opposite shoulder. About 2 more times each side, nice and slow. So when we were 8 and 9 and 10 years old, we didn't need to warm up the joints before we started racing around on the playground, climbing the monkey bars, singing songs, doing hopscotch, whatever. But we're smarter and wiser now. And we know we need to warm up our joints before we go out to recess, before we start that heavy play, that vigorous play at recess. All right, head back up to center, big circle now. We start with the chin tucking to chest and draw a big circle. We can draw it with the nose or the chin. Please go nice and slow. This is Upa Yoga, UPA, not just the circling, but all of these big joint movements. Change directions, nice and slow in the new direction. Find that the biggest circle as your neck allows with as much smoothness, curiosity. Awesome. Head on straight. So head on straight means the chin, the jawbone is parallel to the floor. Parallel to the floor. Most of us have our chin up too high and the back of the neck is compressed. So we lift the back of the head, stretch the back of the head up, the back of the neck is stretching long and the chin is parallel. With that position, always, but especially now, turn your head to the right, nice and slow, and then to the left. One more time each side. Good. Reach the arms out, tuck the thumbs in, wrap the fingers around a gentle fish, roll the wrists. Nice and slow, big circles, big as your hands can draw. I'm so happy you all signed into class today. You're committed. You commit to yourself. Yay, change directions. Yay, yay, yay. Awesome. Fingertips all touching, including the thumbs, little Pac-Man mudra. Place them on your shoulders. Elbows draw in front, maybe touch, they don't have to. And big circle out, around, and down. Nice and slow. Pay attention to the stomach muscles here. We want them engaged. Separating super duper far. And then we'll change directions. Nice and slow. Engaged belly, tall spine, chin bone, jaw bones parallel to the floor. Awesome. Release it out, shake it out, wiggle and shake, shimmy and shake. Shake one arm, let it dangle. Shake the other arm, let it dangle. Good. Hands on the waist or arms out in front with the fingers closed. There's no spaces between the fingers. There's no space between the thumb and the first finger either. So to the waist. Another option is to keep the Pac-Man mudra on the shoulders or straight out with fingers closed. We twist to the right, back to center, twist to the left. And we pause at the far end of the range. We also pause in the middle just to feel centered, collect ourselves before we twist to the other side. Your speed. If you want to go fast, go fast. If you want to go slow, go slow. We will be smoothing it out so there's no pausing. At any time now, we can start to swish side to side. Please be mindful to keep a tall posture, belly's engaged. Feel your feet on the floor, pressing your feet down to manage this twist, this motion of the upper body. Notice what the feet have to do to manage this. Awesome. Pause in middle, rest your hands on your lap and breathe. Good. Let's lift one heel and then the other. One heel and then the other. All right. And then straighten one leg. It can rest on the floor or it can lift up, and we draw slow circles with the big toe. Leg up or down. Posture's tall. Belly's engaged. Supporting the tall posture. Change directions with the circle. Nice and slow. We want the biggest circle we can draw with the big toe. And then rest that foot into our seated mountain position. And we straighten the other leg. That can rest on the floor or not. Big circles. Change directions. This circle on my left side is definitely not a circle. The right side wasn't either, but this one is even more a crazy shape. Okay, put that foot back and let's wag the knees in and out, in and out. In a free way, kind of loosey-goosey. The posture is not loosey-goosey. So posture is still tall and dignified. And now we pause at the outer when the knees are farthest apart, and then we pause when the knees are closest together. Getting a feel of our range. What is this? What are the extreme ranges feel like? What's happening in the right hip? What's happening in the left hip? Now let's slide our feet together so the inner feet are touching and do the same thing. Do the same thing with the knee motion. In and out, in and out. Pausing, noticing, assessing the outermost and the innermost. What's happening in the hip joint? And we want to avoid the words like good and bad. For example, I hear over and over and over and over again, I have a bad right knee. No, you don't have a bad right knee. You have a right knee that just needs more attention. It's like children. You know, we never want to say that about our children. My second child is so bad. No, our second child just needs a little more attention. So what our words become our reality. So we don't want to say bad things about our body. We want objective words, not subjective words. Okay, keep the right leg very still and connected to the floor and wag the other leg side to side. I can't remember if I'm mirroring you or not. Doesn't matter which side. One side's very still, one side's very wagging in and out. Okay, and then second leg, very still, mountain position, other leg, in and out, in and out. Breathe. Firm belly, tall posture. Awesome, very nice. Okay, rub the inner outer knee, give the knee some love. Other knee. Okay, we're headed over to the monkey bars. So plant the feet down, square off the knees. We're in seated mountain. We're heading to the monkey bars. And so we're going to reach up, grab one bar, and then grab the next bar. Like we're swinging from bar to bar, grabbing, stretching. You can rock the hips, squeeze the waist. Just going from bar to bar. Notice what your legs and feet have to do to manage the reach, the stretch. Keep breathing. These are overhead reaches. I love doing these earlier in the morning, like before breakfast time, usually after I have my morning coffee. I really don't do much before my coffee. And then I'll meditate, and then I'll do my little Upa yoga, my morning stretches. Let's count 10 backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Really reach. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then take a rest. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, now we're going to have tug of war with our friends. So grab the rope, sit up nice and tall. I forgot to mention, if you're sitting back in your chair, now is a good time to walk the hips forward a bit. So there's space behind you. Grab onto the rope. Your team's gonna win, by the way, so you gotta work hard to make this happen. Sit up nice and tall and lean back a little bit. Really engage the belly. And now let's pull the rope. Pull the rope. Breathe. Leaning back as far as you can, maintaining that lifted tall posture and an engaged tummy. Keep pulling. We almost got it. The flag is almost across the line. Keep breathing. We're on the winning team. All of us. Breathe. All right. Let's take a break, shake it out, and we'll go to cat-cow. Hands on the lap. Roll the belly and chest forward, chin lifts, and then pull the belly back. The back rounds. Fast or slow, whatever your body is asking for. You can connect it with breath if you wish. Inhaling and exhaling. When your body changes direction, the breath can too. It doesn't have to. When we connect breath with movement, it becomes more of a meditative type practice. All right, cat-cow, wonderful, wonderful. All right, we're going to change the movement of the torso quite a bit. Right now we're rounding, we're extending and flexing the spine. It's arching in one direction and then it's arching in the other direction. For the next playground activity, we want a straight spine. Of course, there's the natural curves, but we want to lengthen those natural curves and we don't want to exaggerate them like in cat-cow. So let's place our hands on our hips and have a finger or two in the hip crease so we can practice hinging forward and hinging upright and back. Almost like a teeter-totter. There's a fun playground activity. The belly's engaged. We're tilting forward, tilting backward, hinging at the hip crease. Hip crease hinge is so important because we're not putting strain on the back muscles. Okay, from here, we're simply going to row the boat and pump as if we're swinging. This is the swinging motion we would do when we're on the swings. We would pump our legs, but that's kind of hard to do unless we're in a really high bar stool, and I don't want you guys sitting on a bar stool at yoga. Oh my goodness. Let's save that for 5 o'clock. Or never. Instead, we're swinging with our torso, which we would do on swings as well. So how high can you swing? How high? Sometimes, remember, we would go so high and then the ropes would kind of kink up and it would be scary a little bit. Which one of you would jump off when you were forward and high? Which one of you were the risk takers? It wasn't me, I can tell you that for sure. I would have to wait till the swing would slow down and lower up a little bit. Okay, a few more swings. Are you breathing? Is your posture staying tall and long? Awesome, so good. Can you feel the tummy muscles, especially when we're tilting back? Those are the muscles that hold us up so we don't flop over. Those are important, aren't they? All right, let's pause. Seated mountain, palms face up, close the eyes and notice. I forgot the song. We were supposed to sing Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Oh my goodness. Next time we'll sing Row, Row, Row Your Boat. All right, let's reach the arms up, plant the feet down, breathe. touch the head, touch the shoulders, hinge forward. We're gonna practice the hinge now. That's why we practice the hinge on our swings. Touch the knees. We're not rounding. And this is becoming very important. We're gonna reach for the toes. You don't have to touch the toes, but we're reaching for the toes with the hinge at the hips. Our backs are nice and flat. Push down to the feet, reach back up. Ready? Head, shoulders, knees, hinge, don't round, toes, really important not to round. Reach back up. Head, shoulders, knees, knees and toes. None of you saw that. Reach back up. Head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Up. Head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Few more times, head and shoulders, knees and toes. Reach up, strong belly reaching. Head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Okay, we can do it. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Up, head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Back to seated. Pause and notice your breath, notice your body. Good stuff. Let's put our hands on our hips and lean to the right, but feel the lift, long left side, even a lifted right side, as if we're going over a barrel. Come on up to center and go to the other side. These are called half moon side bends. I like to call them more lifting than bending. Come back to center and then other side. We're warming up for I'm a little teapot. It's indoor recess time. It started raining, we're all inside. Now we need to sing songs. Okay, first we're gonna take cat-cow. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Sit up nice and tall. Here's my handle. No, here's my handle, hand on hip. Here's my spout. Sit up nice and tall. Push the feet down, lift up through crown. When I get all steamed up, hear me shout, tip me over. Okay, the hand on the hip is pegging it down. The head is lifting up and over. Reach your spout out nice and long and down, down, without sinking into it. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Good, come on up. And then we'll take the other side. Free movement for I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle, other side, here is my spout. When I get all steamed up, lift tall, you're steaming up, steam is lifting you up. Pour me out, just tip me over and pour me out. Lift as you lean, lift as you lean. Maybe the spout lengthens out, maybe down, maybe the handle lifts up. Breathe, reach and breathe, big breath. And come on back to center. Let's do one more time each side. I'm a little teapot, sing with me. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle, here is my spout. Sit tall, when I get all steamed up, hear me shout. Just tip me over, peg that hip down, lift up through crown, and pour me out. Reach out, down, up, breathe. This looks easy, but it's not. It's so good for us. It's so good for our intercostals, our breath, our lungs. We want to keep our rib cage flexible. Stretching and deep breathing is what does it, folks. Come on up to center. Pause. One more time to pour our tea to the second side. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle, here is my spout. When I get all steamed up, hear me shout. Just tip me over and pour me out. Peg that hip down. Lift tall from there. Reach out, maybe down, maybe up. Breathe. You got this. Big breath in that side lung. Good. Come back up to center. Free movement time. Wiggle, shake, shimmy. It's free dance time. Free dance. Okay. Let's go to the feet now. And I wish I had a song for this, but I don't. We're gonna do some hopscotch. So I want you to picture that we drew our chalk with 3 squares, and it's in a triangle shape. There's 1 square in front of the feet in center, and our feet are in the 2 lower squares. So we start with our feet parallel, 1 in each of the lower squares. And we hop the right foot to the top square and then back. Hop the left foot to the top square and then back. And keep going. We're gonna make this, we're gonna change it up a little bit. But first we start with alternating feet. Okay. Now start with the 2 feet in mountain position, the 2 bottom squares. Let's hop the first one, the right one forward and lift the left. And then set them both down at the same time in the bottom 2 squares. This is more challenging. Left one forward, lift the right. And then lift the left one up and they both land at the back. Keep going. So we land the front foot, lift the back foot, and then lift them both, return back to center. The reason I'm suggesting this, because this is challenging. Lift, then lift both back. Make any pattern that you can. And the only reason I'm suggesting this is because we don't ever do it. And when we do stuff that challenges us and that we don't normally do and we're safe on our chair, then the neural pathways are like, oh, okay. This will help my balance. This will, shake things up. And I forgot what foot I'm on. I can't talk and do this at the same time. Anyway, you get my gist. Light on your feet. Remember, hopscotch, we were very light on our feet. Okay, shake it out, shake it out. Now we're thinking outside the box. We're gonna step outside the box, the top box, and then the bottom box. So big, forward. Let's start with the right foot so I can explain it better. Step the right foot outside both boxes to the right top corner, and then outside to the wide corner, and then back into box where it started, and then left. So we're pointing on the points of a big triangle. Forward, side, and back, forward, side, and back, alternating feet. It doesn't matter how fast you go. Find a rhythm. Light on the feet. Tapping. Light on the feet. We're exercising the abductors and adductors of the thighs. And this is good for our balance. So again, we're safe on our chair and we're asking our legs to move in directions we usually don't ask them to move in when we're seated on the chair. one more time each side, finishing on second side, the left side if you started right with me. And then wiggle, shake it out. Whoo, good stuff. Hopscotch, tough, tough, tough. Okay, cartwheel time, cartwheel time. And then we'll stand on our heads. Not really, but we are. We're gonna do a headstand on the chair. But we're not going upside down. So don't log off. All right, let's lift the right leg and put it off to the right. I like to have the corner of the seat like bisecting my legs. My left leg is facing forward. If you have arms on your chair, then obviously your right thigh can't go off to the side. Just sit on the front edge and make a 45 to 90 degree angle with the legs both facing forward. It doesn't matter which way we're facing with our legs, as long as there's a 45 to 90 degree angle. Sit up nice and tall, lengthen, and let's spin our torso to the left. So it's looking more to the left leg. We're preparing for warrior two. Arms out, the letter T. Flip the palms up, roll the shoulders back, and breathe. Tone the belly, reach out to the head. Turn the head to the right. Strong arms. Strong arms. Imagine there's a bowling ball in each hand. You're lifting them up. We're preparing for the cartwheel, but we're going to do it in very slow motion. Breathe. Pretend a friend has you by the right wrist and they want you to come play with them. So they're taking you by the right hand, right wrist, and they're pulling you to the right. So we're going to shift the upper body to the right, 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 right. And when we can't go right anymore, we land that arm down on the right thigh and reach up with the left hand. Look, we started the cartwheel. Straighten the right arm inside the leg. Push the feet down and squeeze the knees open. Breathe. Good. Now this upward hand, the left hand, is going to make a big circle. It's going to reach over to the right. Big reach down to the floor and then back out to the side. And that hand's going to pull us back to warrior two. Okay. So let's put it all together. Warrior two, shift to the right because your friend's pulling you. Tick-tock the hands to 6 and 12 o'clock position, tone the belly, and then sweep that top arm in a big circle, drawing us back up to T-shaped arms. One more time. Starting in warrior two, root down to the feet, press them down, squeeze the knees open, tone the belly. Shift the torso to the right. Arms are at 9 and 3 o'clock. Now they'll be at 12 and 6 o'clock. And then we circle the big hand around, around, around into our cartwheel. And we stick the landing, 10-point landing. Hands to the lap, allow the body to float to center. The little untwist, it's looking right between the knees and center. Good stuff. Ooh, cartwheels take a lot of work. All right, so now we'll go to the other side. So if you're facing the front of your chair, because you have arms on your chair, stay there. Make sure your feet are planted, ankles under knees. If you're going off to the left corner, same thing, 45 to 90 degrees between the legs, ankles under knees, feet are pointing the same direction as the knees. All of us sit nice and tall. And then we twist the body slightly to the right so it's facing more right, the leg more of the right leg. Breathe, arms out to T, Roll the shoulders back, palms flip up, heavy bowling balls. We're holding those heavy bowling balls. Breathe. Look to the left hand, plant the feet down, make footprints. Make footprints in the floor. The friend now is tugging you to the left. Tug, tug, tug. Tone the belly's holding you up. Arm lands, right arm reaches up, left arm reaches down, breathe. Taking this first one slowly so our body can get used to the positions. And then a big sweep, forward, down, back up, pulls us up. Back to warrior two. Plant the feet down, squeeze the legs open, gazes to the left. Shift the whole body left. Arms to 6 and 12 o'clock. Breathe. This is a lift up posture, no sagging. Breathe. And then a big cartwheel sweep, finishing the cartwheel with the right arm. Pulls us back up. One more time. Sit tall, press the feet down, squeeze the knees open. Shift left. Shift left, 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 left. Hold, engage. Shift to 12 and 6 o'clock. Look up, breathe. Strong tummy holding us up. Breathe. Big sweep of the right arm pulls us up. Hands to the lap, body finds a neutral position, right down the center. Good, very nice. Feel centered, feel grounded. Notice what the bottoms of the feet feel like. The bottoms of the hips, the sit bones on the chair. Please notice the connection points. All right, let's sit center on the chair. And I would like to do DER, but before we do the daily energy routine, I think we need to let's do some leapfrogging. Leapfrogging in the spirit of being at recess. Let's do some leapfrogging. These may look very different depending on our hips, our situation, where we are with our chair, if we have blocks or not. With no blocks, let's do the first one with no blocks. And then if you don't have blocks, you can keep doing them the same way. And then I will add blocks for those of you who have blocks. And it's basically just feeling a little deeper. Okay, so our knees are wide, our feet are pointing in the same direction as the knees. And instead of ankles under knees, the feet are closer into us and we come up onto our toes. Do we have to come up onto our toes? No, we don't. The feet can stay flat. So if that's not happening for you today, don't worry about it. Keep your feet flat. If no matter where you are, sit tall. No matter what your feet are doing, sit tall, hinge forward, and place the hands inside the knees and squeeze. Squeeze the knees into the arms, squeeze the arms into the legs. So there's resistance there. Now lift the posture out of the pelvis. So posture lengthens. Breathe, tummy's engaged. Push the feet down into the floor and really resist arms and legs into one another. Breathe. So if we were on the ground without a chair in front of us, we could spring up like leapfrog and jump over our friend who's tucked down. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Good. Release that. Come back up. If you had your heels up, lower them down. Shake it out. We're gonna do one more set because this, I think this takes so much effort. So I think 2 sets is great. You can have the low level of the blocks, the medium level, or the high level. High level will not be as stable, but as long as you promise to stay on your chair, seat on your chair, you can use the high level. I'll let you. Just pinky Boy Scout promise that you'll stay on your chair. Feet are now elevated. We can come up onto the toes or not. Press down. Make sure they're in the right spots. When you press down, they don't flip out from under you. Sit nice and tall, hinge forward, just a deeper compression. This emulates squatting. When we played leapfrog, we would start with a squat and then spring up. Arms in, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. We're pressing the feet down, whether we're on the balls of our feet or flat, squeezing the legs in, squeezing the arms out, lifting the posture from there. Breathe. I want to hear everybody ribbit, 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 ribbit. Squeeze the belly, get really tall, like you're ready to bounce, really jump really high. Breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. All right, release. Good job, good job. Shake it out. I moved here from Detroit, and so I was a city girl my whole life. And I think the coolest thing, there's a lot of cool things when you're living in nature like I do now. And I think my favorite thing is listening to the frogs at night. It's only a few weeks, not even 4 weeks out of the year. And I think it's ending now, the mating season, but they are loud. The peepers are loud. It reminds me of the crickets and the cicadas at certain times of year. So I love listening to the spring peepers in the spring. Okay, shake it out. All right, let's sit on our chair. We're gonna do the daily energy routine. Some of these things may have gotten us a little discombobulated, but either which way, this will sync up our energies, and so we can go on with our day feeling hopefully grounded and steady. Grounded and steady. I think those are my 2 favorite words that describe the daily energy routine. Hands on lap, take a deep breath in, sigh out the mouth. Do that twice more. Sigh like you're trying to fog up a mirror. Good. Take one hand and massage the neck and the shoulder on the opposite side. Really press your fingers in as hard as you can so that it feels good. Not so hard you're hurting yourself, but a nice deep massage that feels good for you. This is called the crossover shoulder pull. Many of these techniques we're getting acupressure points, drawing X's and drawing figure 8s, which helps with grounding, steadiness, balance, and just getting us synchronized in our energy fields. Now that hand presses into the top of the shoulder and swipes to the opposite hip. Breathe in the nose and out the mouth. Other side. Massage that other side. Press in. Donna Eden. I highly recommend. She's slowing down now. I think she might be 80, but she is a force, man. She is so youthful, so energetic. She had MS in her 20s. She was diagnosed with MS and was bedridden. She could see people's energies fields. We have energy fields in and around us. We all have them. Swipe to the opposite hip. And she could see them. She saw them as a young girl. She always saw them. And she thought everybody could see energy fields. She thought that was like a normal thing. Swipe the opposite hip. Good. 4 thumps is next. 4 thumps. Finger pads are tapping on the cheekbone below the eye, tapping on the bony part. Breathe in the nose, out the mouth. So she started looking at the energy of foods and how her energy field changed when she ate and drank liquids, whatever she drank. The next part we're going to tap is the collarbones, the K27s. And she noticed that even though she was trying to eat super healthy, even some healthy foods changed her energy field into like confusion. So she considers herself very lucky that she could see this and sense it. Anyway, fast forward 50 years, because she's 80 now or close to it. She's walking, talking, she's very healthy. You would never ever know she had MS. Now the breastbone, we're in the center of the breastplate. So she developed daily energy routine, different energy things we can do so we can organize our own energies ourselves, much like she did. We like to tap hard here. This is a hard bone till we feel the vibration. We want to vibrate the gland underneath this bone, the thymus gland. Breathe in the nose, out the mouth. And now the 4th thump tapping is the low ribs, the front low ribs and the side low ribs. This governs metabolism, spleen meridian. Breathe. In the nose, out the mouth. So I highly recommend following Donna Eden if you like to follow people on Instagram or Facebook, or even get on her mailing list. It's Donna Eden, like the Garden of Eden, Eden. Her daughters now are taking more and more of the business over, the traveling parts and stuff like that. Okay, pause. Feel the energy in your hands. And then tap the opposite leg. And maybe lift the opposite leg as you're tapping. Come up on the toes or do a little kick. Cross crawl. We can reach the, oops, I'm discombobulated. Okay, so that means we need to be a marionette. So I'm guessing I'm not the only one. Our recess play might have discombobulated some of us. Pretend you have a string attached to the same leg, lift, same arm, same leg. Homolateral crawl, homolateral crawl. Breathe in the nose, out the mouth. Good stuff. Homolateral crawl helps with tracking our balance. This is good for kids to do who have trouble reading. All right, pause, and now we'll go back to the cross crawl, back to arm reaching or touching the opposite leg. However way you want it to look. You can tap the opposite knee, you can kick and reach for the opposite foot, whatever. Good. Awesome. Pause. And let that all get organized. Let's organize it further by drawing figure 8s with the arms. Drawing figure 8s. The arms can go separate and meet and cross in the middle, or they can travel together, parallel. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that we're drawing a figure 8. And then separate the arms and tread the water, figure 8ing along the sides. Breathe. Time for Wayne Cook. Wayne Cook. So Wayne Cook can look very different. The classic way of doing Wayne Cook is knee on thigh, and we hold that ankle and we cross the other arm and touch the bottom of the foot. So the wrists are across and the ankle is over knee. Other options are to cross the ankles down low. Please do that if crossing up high hurts your knee or hip, and we give ourselves a hug, or we cross and our hands are on our lap. The legs and arms are still crossed. So find the way for where your knee and hip are happiest. Let's breathe in the nose and out the mouth. One more breath. And then we'll switch. So switch the cross, put the other foot in front or on top. Sit nice and tall, breathe in the nose, out the mouth. This is called Wayne Cook because he was the father of bioenergetics. He developed machinery that could see the energy fields, much like Donna Eden could. And there are a lot of people that can. It's not just Donna. She's not the only one. So Wayne Cook then would do experiments on different postures, different motions that we would take with our body, and could see with his machinery that certain things we would do would organize the energies, certain things we would do would disorganize them. And this is one he thought was one of the best things to do. Cross the arms, cross the legs, breathe in the nose, out the mouth. And then to finish Wayne Cook, we press all the fingertips together like we're holding a big ball, big invisible ball. And then push the thumbs are touching the center of the forehead. And we breathe in the nose, out the mouth. This finishes Wayne Cook. I've read that he would teach his techniques and lecture about these biofields in the Ivy League medical schools. Okay, curl the fingers in and rub the forehead from the center outward. The crown pull. Pressing in the middle and pulling out, move into the hairline, press in and pull out. If you just got your hair done and you don't want to mess it up, do it away, hover the fingers away. If you don't care about your hair right now, it feels good to press into the skull and pull out, press in and pull out. Let's travel down the middle of the skull to the top and then to the back, pressing in and pulling out. And then the hands rest on the neck, shoulders, and they simply just slide off. Flick your fingers. Flick your thumb and first finger. And then change the middle finger. Flick the middle finger. And then switch to ring finger, flick it. Using the thumb, flick, flick, flick. And then the pinkies. All right, take those healing hands and massage the crease between the arm and the torso. We're massaging the neural lymphatic points. We have many of them. This is a big one. And then the other side. Whoa. If you hit tender spots, please revisit those today. Go back to it, massage it. There are little stuck energy points that need to be massaged out. Now, hands to the outer knees. imagine you have seams in your pant legs. Maybe you do have seams in your pant legs. And we press our fingertips in and circle around and then move up an inch. So we're massaging the seams of our legs. These leg seams can be very sensitive. So if you find sensitivity here, you're not alone. They're just spots that need extra TLC, where we have the like the pocket of tension. We packed a little suitcase too tight there. And go all the way up and then sweep it off, sweep off that energy you cleared out, and then do the other leg. Good stuff. If your hands get tired, I highly recommend massaging different points in the body. The leg seams, our shoulders, our chest. And if your hands get tired, first of all, it's good for our hands. It's good for arthritis and it's good for strengthening our hands. But our hands do get tired. You know, they're tiny little muscles in our fingers. Then take a tennis ball and with a flat hand, the tennis ball is between your hand and body part, roll it, press and roll it. And our fingers are given a break. Okay, let's zip up. The final two energy techniques, zip up from pubic bone to chin. We have a giant energetic zipper in us, around us. We want to zip it up. Zip it up. And this is a great time to affirm, I am capable. I am enough. I am plenty. I am plenty. I am worthy. I am worthy. I am strong. I am balanced. Anyone you wish to zip in and up. And then middle finger presses into belly button, other middle finger into the forehead. Our fingers are acting like hooks. So press in and up like we're hanging on the hooks. Breathe in the nose, out the mouth. We're connecting our central meridian to our governing meridian. The two main meridians, like the two parents. Our arms, fingers are acting like jumper cables right now. Breathe in the nose, out the mouth. This is called the hookup. So, but please, when you talk to your kids or grandkids this weekend, please do not tell them you hooked up in yoga class. It has a different meaning for that generation. And you don't want them to disrespect you. Breathe in the nose, out the mouth. I'm just kidding. Maybe you want to tell them you did the hookup in yoga. All right, hands to the lap, close the eyes, soften the skin on the eyelids, forehead, shoulders are heavy. Invite heaviness into the bones. Let the chair support you. Let the bones support you. Feel as if you had no chair and no bones, you'd just be a blob on the floor. Your muscles and skin would just be a pile. Invite that much softening. Now that the body is consciously rested, let's invite stillness to the mind. option is to watch, observe the breath come and go. For some of us, observing breath is not relaxing. So we may choose to slowly, gently repeat in our mind, like a soft whisper, a mantra. Like Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. As you need. It's a form of meditation, purposeful rest. You would like to come out and reawaken the body and mind now. Just bring some movement to the body, hands, feet, the eyebrows, maybe the shoulders. Closing with move. Bowing in gratitude, bowing with joy. May we be well. May we be joyful. May we live in peace. Namaste.
I have to share something with you.